Got a lot on my mind these days. I want to share two thoughts with you. First, I want to talk about the war on terror. I wish I could report to you that the war on terror was over. It's not. There is still an enemy that wants to do us harm. And the most important job of the President of the United States is to protect the American people from that harm. And I think about it all the time. As you know, well, I make a lot of decisions. And at the core of my decision making, when it comes to protecting America, is the lessons learned from September the 11th, 2001. My job is to use the resources of the United States to prevent such an attack from happening again. And the first lesson of September the 11th, 2001 is that we face an enemy that has no regard for innocent life, an enemy which has hijacked a great religion to suit their political needs. And therefore, the only way to deal with them is to stay on the offense, to pressure them, and to bring them to justice, which is precisely what the United States of America is doing and will continue to do for the safety of the American people. Yesterday, I went over to 29 Palms. I want to tell you something about the United States military. These young men and women are incredibly dedicated. They are motivated. They understand that we must defeat the enemy over there so we do not have to face them here at home. Most of them raised their hand to volunteer after September the 11th. Many of them have said, I want to continue to serve our country. We're lucky to have people like them willing to serve. And the United States government, whether you agree with my policy or not, must stand by our troops. When they're in harm's way, they deserve the best pay, the best equipment, and the best possible support. And I told them they didn't have to worry about me. I believe we're going to win in Iraq. And a victory in Iraq will be a major blow to the totalitarian vision of bin Laden and his lieutenants. A major blow. One, it'll be a tactical blow. We'll deny them that which they want. But secondly, it'll be a major blow because in the long term, the best way to defeat an ideology of hatred is with an ideology of hope. I base a lot of my foreign policy decisions on some things that I think are true. One, I believe there's an Almighty. And secondly, I believe one of the great gifts of the Almighty is the desire in everybody's soul, regardless of what you look like or where you live, to be free. I believe liberty is universal. I believe people want to be free. And I know that democracies do not war with each other. And I know that the best way to defeat the enemy, the best way to defeat their ability to exploit hopelessness and despair, is to give people a chance to live in a free society. You know, the Iraqis went to the polls last December for the third time in 1 year. It seems like a decade ago, doesn't it? It seems like it was just an eternity ago that 12 million people defied terrorists, threats, and said, we want to be free. We're sick and tired of a society that had been suppressed by a brutal tyrant. We want to go to the polls. We want to be self-governing. I wasn't surprised. I was pleased but not surprised. If you believe that liberty exists in the soul of each person on the face of the earth, it shouldn't surprise you that given the chance, people will say, we want to be free. And now the role of the United States is to stand by the courageous Iraqis as their democracy develops. It's not easy work, by the way, to go from tyranny to democracy. We had kind of a rough go ourselves, if you look back at our history. My Secretary of State's relatives were enslaved in the United States, even though we had a constitution that said all were, that believed in the dignity, or at least proclaimed the belief in the dignity of all. You know, the Articles of Confederation wasn't exactly a real smooth start for our government to begin. And what you're watching on your TV screens is a new democracy emerging. And I had the privilege of calling the president of Iraq, the new speaker of Iraq, and the Prime Minister designee of Iraq. They're in the comfort of my hotel room in Palm Springs. And I can't tell you how heartened I was to hear their words. First of all, they expressed great appreciation for the American people and our troops and the families of our troops. Secondly, to a person, this is a Kurd, a Shia, and a Sunni I'm talking to. Each one of them said, we want to have a national unity government. We're sick of the sectarian violence. We believe if you stand with us, we can achieve our objective of becoming a democracy that listens to the people. And I believe them. And I believe them. And I told them, I said, look, it's going to be up to you to make it work. But you can count on the United States of America because we believe in liberty and the capacity of liberty to change lives and to change a neighborhood for a more peaceful tomorrow. This is a new chapter in our relationship. We had an important milestone when the unity government was formed. And now there's a new chapter in the relationship. And we're moving forward.